The US Air Force has just unveiled a $200 billion stealth bomber so advanced it's been built to fight wars that haven't even begun. For decades, the B-2 Spirit was the ghost in the skies, a flying wing that could slip past enemy radars and deliver America's most destructive weapons. It looked unstoppable, but there was one problem. The B-2 was so expensive and so complex to maintain that only 21 ever made it into service. It became less a weapon of war and more a symbol of power, impressive but limited. The B-21 Raider is meant to change that. It builds on the B-2's strengths, cuts away its weaknesses, and adds an entirely new layer of technology. This isn't just a bomber, it's designed to be the most flexible and adaptable aircraft ever created. So what makes the B-21 such a breakthrough, and why do experts believe it represents the future of American air power? To understand that, we need to trace back the legacy it's built upon. Back in the late 1980s, the B-2 Spirit was unveiled as the crown jewel of American air power. It looked like nothing else in the sky, as it's a sleek flying wing designed to vanish from radar and strike deep inside enemy territory. During the Cold War, it was meant to slip past the Soviet Union's most advanced defenses and deliver nuclear or conventional weapons with pinpoint accuracy. On paper, it was perfect, but in practice it came at an unbelievable cost. Each B-2 carried a price tag of more than $2 billion, and its maintenance requirements were so intense that the US Air Force could only afford to build 21 of them. Instead of a fleet that could wage long campaigns, the B-2 became a silver bullet, used sparingly and only for the most critical missions. This left the Air Force facing a dilemma. Stealth was no doubt the future of bombing, but for it to truly work, it had to be affordable, reliable, and scalable. That's exactly where the B-21 Raider steps in. It takes the lessons carved out of the B-2 program and reshapes them into an aircraft built not for show, but for real practical power. And the story begins with its most guarded secret. That is the design choices that make the B-21 almost impossible to see. At first glance, the B-21 Raider looks a lot like the B-2 Spirit. It's a sleek flying wing with no tail and smooth edges, but that's where the similarity ends. The B-21 makes the B-2 look like a relic. Its biggest leap is stealth. The B-2 could slip past radar mainly head-on, but from the sides or behind it was easier to spot. The B-21 fixes that with what experts call 360-degree stealth. From any angle, radar barely sees it. In fact, its signature is said to be the size of a mosquito, which makes it impossible to track on radar. The Raider is also smaller, with a 132-foot wingspan compared to the B-2's 172-foot wingspan. It may seem a downgrade to you, but it's actually an advantage. A smaller size means it's harder to detect and easier to operate for more locations. Even its weapons reflect modern warfare. The B-2 carried 40,000 pounds of bombs. The B-21 carries about half, but with today's smart bombs and precision missiles, fewer weapons can hit harder than dozens of older ones. Every inch of the Raider has been built for survival, using lighter, tougher materials that don't need the costly upkeep of the B-2. And the innovations don't stop at the surface. The way it was designed and built also marks a revolution in military engineering. One of the main reasons the B-2 never became a true fleet was cost. At over $2 billion per plane, it was simply too expensive to build in large numbers. The B-21 Raider changes that, as each one is expected to cost around $700 million. It's still huge, but barely a third of the B-2's price. The key is digital engineering. Instead of building prototypes and fixing problems later, the Raider was designed and tested in a fully digital environment. Every panel, bolt, and system was modeled, refined, and even tested with robotics before the first aircraft was built. This cut design errors from the usual 15 to 20% to just 1%, making production faster, smoother, and cheaper. Because of this, the Air Force plans to buy at least 100 Raiders, with estimates going as high as 250. And affordability is just the beginning. The Raider also carries one of America's most critical roles, that is keeping the nuclear triad alive. This triad has 3 legs, which are land-based missiles, nuclear submarines, and bombers that can carry nuclear weapons. The idea is simple. If one leg is destroyed, the others can still strike back. This is the foundation of nuclear deterrence, and the B-21 is the first major upgrade to this system in decades. Like the B-2, the Raider can deliver both nuclear and conventional weapons. But it is designed to stay relevant for the next 50 years. It can carry advanced nuclear bombs like the B-61, long-range cruise missiles, and even weapons that have not been built yet. That flexibility means the US will always have a stealth bomber ready to strike anywhere in the world. At the same time, the Raider can even handle precision strikes, intelligence gathering, and electronic warfare. In a modern conflict, whether against Russia, China, or any other rival, it becomes more than a bomber. It is a multi-role platform equally effective at dropping precision-guided weapons as it is serving as a nuclear deterrent. This dual role makes the B-21 more than an upgrade. It is built to be the backbone of American air power for decades to come. Its open architecture works like a smartphone, allowing quick upgrades with new weapons, sensors, or mission systems without a redesign. One of its most advanced features is that it is optionally manned. It can fly with pilots or operate unmanned, reducing risks in dangerous missions. It can even command loyal wingman drones to scout, jam radars, or carry out strikes, multiplying its reach. With a range of nearly 7,000 miles without refueling, it can penetrate deep into enemy territory and still return safely. Connected to satellites, ships, and ground forces, the B-21 becomes more than a bomber. It is a future-proof combat system built to stay dominant for decades. That's why the B-21 Raider isn't just about replacing old bombers. It's about changing the balance of power. Countries like China and Russia have spent decades building thick layers of air defenses consisting of massive radar networks, advanced surface-to-air missiles like the S-400 and S-500, and fleets of fighter aircraft, all designed to keep American bombers out. But those systems can only target what they can see, and the Raider is built to be invisible. For China, this is especially troubling. Its entire military strategy in the Pacific depends on anti-access and area denial systems designed to push U.S. forces far away from its shores. The B-21 cuts straight through that shield. It can take off from bases in the U.S. or allied countries, fly thousands of miles undetected, and hit critical targets deep inside Chinese territory. The billions poured into defenses suddenly look like wasted money. Russia faces the same problem. Its most advanced missiles and radars are useless if they can't detect their target. The Raider exposes a harsh truth that no matter how much adversaries invest in defense, the U.S. can always hold their most valuable assets at risk. That kind of power isn't just about winning battles, it's about deterrence. When enemies know you can strike anywhere, anytime, and they can't stop you, they're far less likely to challenge you in the first place. This is why military analysts call the B-21 not just a bomber, but a strategic signal. It tells the world America intends to stay decades ahead in the skies. And it's also why many call it the first true sixth-generation aircraft, a platform built for the wars of tomorrow. The reason is simple. It is not tied to one era of technology. Its design allows it to take on new advances like artificial intelligence, quantum computing, laser weapons, or even hypersonic missiles in the future. This flexibility gives the Air Force something older planes lacked: long life. Instead of becoming outdated, the Raider can keep upgrading and stay ahead for decades. To allies, it shows America's air power is unmatched. To rivals, it warns that their defenses are already outdated. In this way, the B-21 is more than a bomber. It is a symbol of power that can prevent war by making enemies think twice. With unmatched stealth, digital engineering, and future-ready design, the Raider guarantees that America will remain untouchable in the skies for decades to come. But the question is, can rivals like China or Russia ever build something to match it, or has the US already locked in air dominance for the next generation? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and I shall see you in the next one, folks. Thanks for watching.